Okay, next. So, after solutions, we have colloids. Colloids are suspensions in which the suspended particles are larger than molecules but too small to drop out of the suspension due to gravity. So, meaning colloids are when we put solutes in the solvent, it does not really dissolve, but it is very small or small enough to remain suspended. Okay? Okay? So it does not settle down. Okay? So those are colloids or colloidal solutions. Now, in this, the particle size is only 10 to 2000 angstrom. And colloidal particles exhibit what we call the Tyndall effect or the ability to scatter light wherein the beam of light can be seen through the colloid. And there are several types of colloid depending on the dispersing or the solvent-like substance and the dispersed or the solute-like substance. Okay? Then colloids could either be hydrophilic or water-loving or hydrophobic or water-hating. Now, molecules arrange themselves so that the hydrophobic portions are oriented towards each other, just like in likes dissolves like. Okay? If a large hydrophobic macromolecule needs to exist in water, hydrophobic molecules embed themselves into the macromolecule, leaving the hydrophilic ends to interact with water. For example, in here, okay, hydrophilic heads or ends are in the outside, and then the hydrophobic, okay, are inside. Okay, so molecules do this. They form what we call a micelle, right? And then it could bond now to water or polar solvent. Now, typical hydrophilic groups are polar, which means it contains CO, OH, NH, or H bonding in general. And then hydrophobic colloids need to be stabilized in water. Now, an important application of colloids is what we call adsorption, or when something sticks to the surface, okay, we say it is adsorbed. So if ions are adsorbed onto the surface of a colloid, the colloid appears hydrophilic and is stabilized in water. So for example daw, a small drop of oil, okay, in water. So if we add to water sodium stearate, okay, that would be an example of a colloidal solution. So to illustrate, if we have here a hydrophobic particle, so the ions present in the water could still interact with this particle. Now, sodium stearate, for example, has a long hydrophobic tail, as you can see here, and a small hydrophobic head, the red one here. Now, the hydrophobic tail can be absorbed, okay, into the oil drop. This is the oil drop, leaving the hydrophobic head, okay, on the surface. Now, the hydrophilic head interact with the water molecules, right? And then the oil drop is now stabilized. Now, this principle of colloids is also applicable on how most dirt stains on people and clothing are removed because these are oil-based, right? So, soaps are molecules with long hydrophobic tails and hydrophilic heads that remove dirt by stabilizing the colloid in water. Another, bile excretes substances like sodium stearate that forms an emulsion with fats in our small intestine. Then, emulsifying agents help form the emulsion, And these emulsifying agents, we also call it as emulsifiers. Okay? Okay? Now, since colloid particles are too small to be separated by physical means, okay, unlike such like filtration, so we cannot easily separate it. Now, in able to do so, colloidal particles must be first coagulated or enlarged or let the molecules join together, okay, until they form bigger molecules so they can be removed by filtration. Now, common methods of coagulating colloids first is heating. So when we heat the colloidal solution, the colloid particles move and are attracted to each other when they collide. Then another method is by adding an electrolyte which neutralize the surface charges of the colloidal particles. And a more advanced technique is by dialysis or using a semi-permeable membranes to separate ions from colloidal particles, which is done for treatment, okay, for kidney disease, okay? And that's it for solutions. So see you on the next one.